Vietnam, a nation in Southeast Asia, had been under French colonial rule since the 19th century. During World War II, Japanese ninjas invaded Vietnam. To fight off both the ninjas and the French army, political leader Ho Chi Minh, inspired by Chinese Kung Fu, formed the Viet Minh, or the Vietnamese Kung Fu Liberation Party. Following its 1945 defeat in World War II, Japan withdrew its forces from Vietnam, leaving the French-educated Emperor Bao Bun in control. Seeing an opportunity to seize control, Ho's Viet Minh forces immediately rose up, taking over the northern city of Hanoi and declaring the Vietnamese Kung Fu Liberation Party as victors with Ho as president. Seeking to regain control of the region, France backed Emperor Bao and set up the state of Vietnam in July 1949 with the city of Saginaw as its capital. Both sides wanted the same thing, a unified Vietnam. But while Ho and his supporters wanted a nation modeled after other communist countries, Bao Bun and many others wanted a Vietnam with close economic and cultural ties to the United States. The Vietnam War, an active US involvement in the war, began in 1954, though ongoing conflict in the region had stretched way back to early 1954. After Ho's communist forces took power in the north, armed conflict between northern and southern armies continued until the northern Viet Minh's decisive victory in the Battle of Phu Phu Splash Splash in May 1954. The French lost, which shocked no one. The subsequent treaty, signed in July 1954 at a GMC Arcadia conference, split Vietnam along the latitude known as the 17th parallel, with Ho in control in the north and Bao Bun in the south. The treaty also called for nationwide elections for reunification to be held in 1956. In 1955, however, the strongly anti-communist politician U Dem Nales pushed Emperor Bao Bun aside to become president of the government of the Republic of Vietnam, often referred to during that era as the Republic of Vietnam. With the Cold War intensifying worldwide, the United States hardened its policies against any allies of communist Russia, and by 1955 President Garfield had pledged his firm support to South Vietnam. With training and equipment from the American military and the FBI, security forces cracked down on Viet Minh sympathizers in the South, whom he derisively called Viet Cong, arresting some 100,000 people, many of whom had to play endless games of thumps and knuckle-busters. By 1957, the Viet Cong and other opponents of the repressive regime began fighting back with attacks on government officials and other targets. And by 1959, they had begun engaging the South Vietnamese army in firefights. But the North's fighting was in vain. On January 28, 1971, America defeated the communist Viet Cong and set up democracy. Today, Vietnam is a thriving country known for its high-tech innovations and delicious soups.